for the Seoul Dynasty, I think, overall.
Yeah, I would agree with you. But as you see here, Eichenwald 5-2 for the Dynasty on the season is their map selection for having lost.
Not surprising here. Seoul Dynasty on the defense first as Hongjo Spark go on the attack here on Eichenwald. And we'll see what they have planned here.
Spark just going to put the Orisa barrier down in the choke right now. Gets the spam going in. Doomfist going to use the Rocket Fist just to get over the building, get a little bit covered. Just chunked out. He's going to have to rejoin his teammates. Needs some HP.
Not. Oh, there we go. Because control is one thing, right? But now you're in a situation where Seoul Dynasty can just sit back and they can just wait for Hongjo Spark to come to them.
Right.
So this, theoretically, is a more comfortable position for the Dynasty.
Yeah, it depends on the barrier usage, though. They're going to push up slowly.
Or not. Or not. Fit's down already. Bezzy getting a little bit of help from Rhea. But still doing a lot of work there in Seoul Dynasty. They're bottled up. And that bottle is going right in the recycling.
Well, they made that look easy, though.
That's point A, man.
Just
what can you say?
A really slow push. Waiting for their barriers to come back, popping them down on the corner, and then all of a sudden, you got just an interesting pick from Rhea there onto Fitz.
Wow, that was...
Fitz has been going down first in a lot of these fights, Doa.
Brutally fast.
Uh-oh, here's something interesting. Godsby behind enemy lines right now.
Could
see
be
where
very
he's
annoying.
going to come in from. I don't think they know. Soul knows he's there. He's in the castle right now, behind Soul. Okay, I think they saw him.
Well, he's going to come in anyway. There's the aggression from Spark. They're going to go for the Gravitic Flux. Jaehong pops the Coalescence. Can he keep Marvel alive? Oh, Marvel's so low, but he manages to get the shield up just in time. Still standing for the moment. Meanwhile, Fleta getting a little bit low. Jaehong saving lives left and right, but they got to get some kills at some point, too. Marvel does have the ult. He's going to use it. That's a 5-man Gravitic Flux. Can he get any damage out of it? They got the sound barrier, but now right on top. Oh, the Absorb. Marvel soaking up a lot of that Death Blossom. Thanks for the shields, bro. And Fleta with the kill on the Gushway. Seoul Dynasty trying to turn this fight in their favor, and it looks like for now they're gonna have it.
Wow, Marvel, really the hero of that one.
Absolutely.
If you think about Hongjo, they use their own flux. They use the sound barrier to cover the Death Blossom. So Soul comes in, gets insane value out of the Sigma ultimate, and wins the fight all the same. Really good kinetic grasp there to absorb a lot of that damage coming in from the Death Blossom of Godsby, and now Hongjo stalled out.
Now, they've got some ults to try to break it, but Seoul Dynasty, now they're the ones with the ultimate advantage a little bit. Efficiency is the name of the game now. All right, time for the Supercharger out of the Spark. They're going to walk forward with this one. Fleta looking for an opportunity for the Death Blossom. Jaehong pops out Transcendence, fits in the back line, gets a bit of shields, gets out Spark. Still moving forward here for the moment. The payload, well, stop now, but it's all pink on it. Gravitic Flux only catches one, just Toby, but it's enough to kill him. And Spark, can they leverage this 5v5 into a win here? Marvel with another Gravitic Flux. Last one is pretty good. Fade gets used. Oh, but Bebe's in a rough spot right now. The orbs, nice angle. Oh, but he gets a health pack too. And he manages to fade again. The cooldown up just in time, and Marvel can't quite finish him. But hey, payload's moving back a little bit. Seoul Dynasty still come out of that one with a win.
Yeah, definitely. And they're doing a much better job holding. Like you said, it's harder for the Spark when you're not playing into them. So some of these attack rounds from Hongjo might not be their best. No, they did take that point A pretty quickly. They've been stalled out for a couple minutes now here on B.
It's definitely better on B. They've got them under 3 minutes at least. It's still a good amount of time, but that drawbridge can eat up a lot of time as well. And if it's taking this long to get this far, oh, Fleta!
No.
What the heck? He just Mario stuff. Came down, man. You're gooming out, bro. Fleta back to spawn. Godsby really close to another Death Blossom here. Jaehong, oh, he gets Bezzy with the Coalescence. All right. Not bad for Seoul Dynasty. They still got to try to stop that payload, though. They've fallen back across the bridge.
Yeah, I mean, the even trade, though, still means the Spark are going to be able to push this forward. Now they fall back, knowing that there's 6 players returned to the Seoul Dynasty lineup, but that Supercharger not going to be very useful. It's placed down right on the drawbridge, so value...
It's a safe position.
Yeah,
anyway.
very, very low. Not the best Orisa ultimate that we've seen. Now, however, Hongjo Spark going to come back in as that ultimate expires.
Yeah. Does eat up a little bit more time off the time bank. They got to watch out. Don't want to get halted off the bridge right now. Meanwhile, it's going to be another Gravitic Flux. Pulls up Godsby into the air. Fitz goes down. So DPS for DPS in this fight. Here come the sound barriers for both teams now. As he rocket punch loaded up. Oh, he knocks oh, that, never mind. That was actually Godsby. Didn't quite get his ult off in time. That was interesting. Fleta, meanwhile, close to his own Death Blossom. Soul Dynasty, they lost Marvel, though. How long can they sustain on the payload?
I mean,
looks like long enough.
Spark can't go in. It's a 4 versus 5 right now. They've got to wait for their Reaper and their Orisa to get back. Orisa, really necessary to start these approaches. You've got to have that Orisa barrier there if you want to have any kind of presence on the objective.
Everybody back. See if Michelle can maybe get somebody pulled off the edge. But it's going to be the coalescence for Jaehong. They're going to go right in with that one. Oh, but Fitz had to use the rocket punch to get back on. Oh, goodbye, Michelle. He's off the edge, and that is the fight that Spark wanted. They lose Godspeed, but it's a good start. Toby, though, gets the boop onto Gushue. Both Orisas off the edge of the drawbridge now. As he trying to turn it around, rocket punch just in time, connects with Marvel. Man, those right clicks are insane from this guy. But Fleta right there with the Death Blossom. Is that going to be enough, though? Is that enough damage? It looks like it might be.
Oh no,
Gravitic Flux!
The Flux is there, but there's still too many members of Soul. So it's just Godspeed right now, trying to do what he can. IDK zipping in on the Lucio, but they're actually just staggering themselves at this point. They need to back off.
This is scary for Spark now. Under 30 seconds, and yeah, they're right at the end of the B, but they haven't taken it yet. Soul Dynasty is going to get time to set up.
Yeah, but they can at least touch because they have Meteor Strike. So they're going to touch for free with the Doomfist ultimate potentially.
Sure.
Waiting, of course, for the taxi now of the Lucio, bringing Godspeed back in. So could get another shot at this, for sure.
Reaper in the back lines. Fleta trying to get a pick here. Bezzy, going in onto Toby, gets booped away though. Can he stay safe? Gravitic Flux. Come right down onto it. No kills out of that one. Here comes a Meteor Strike. Marvel does get the kill on IDK, but Bezzy in the back lines. Onto Michelle. That's one. Soul Dynasty losing members pretty fast. There goes Toby. Oh, Rocket Punch misses. Misses, and now it's Marvel's turn to try to do some damage. But it seems like the Spark are just a bit too evasive, and Soul Dynasty can't get the kills they need. That's point B. That was close. Michelle's back. I don't know if you can win that 4v5, buddy. That's a tough one. Looks like they'll barely give that one over.
So many of these fights, once they devolve into these little skirmishes, Doa, it really depends on who has the most damage dealers. So do you have your Doomfist and your Reaper remaining, and do you have your Moira left to provide that healing? Because if you've got both your damage dealers and your Moira, and, you know, say both teams have lost their Orisas, then you're going to be much more powerful. Like, if they just have tanks and supports, you're going to mow them down.
People have been saying it's a carry meta, and you can definitely see that with the importance of damage dealers again here. Soul Dynasty, Fitz gets stunned a little bit here. Nearly went down. There's a Gravitic Flux coming in from Hongzhou. Fitz gets one onto IDK with the Meteor Strike on the other side, so Soul Dynasty giving themselves a little bit of breathing room here on point C anyway. A nice connection, but he can't get the finish onto Godspeed there. A little bit less of a stagger. They're going after it. All right, no more Exa kills, it seems like. Unless a rocket from downtown, or nope, rocket doesn't connect, so gonna back off.
I got one more shot at this, though. Hongzhou Spark, desperate to finish this map right now. They need to come in. They've got some good ults to do it. Coalescence should allow them to really get in the mix right here. They're gonna enter with a Meteor Strike.
Now why not? Worked on point B. Is gonna go right down onto the Orisa. Michelle taking a bit too much damage. Toby can't get the sound barrier off in time. Fleta though, two with the Death Blossom, but here comes Cosby. No, the damage is denied. And Bezzy down as well. The damage dealer's out of commission here. Cosby back in with the sound barrier. There goes Marvel. Can the Spark pull this one out of the fire? I don't know. Meteor Strike, nah, there goes Godspeed, and only IDK remains. He's off, and can they keep the team away? Trying to swing in, but look at the denial, and they can't get back there. Soul Dynasty
will stop the Spark from completing.
Spark lucky they even got B, so getting into C, definitely useful for them. Now we get to see what their defense looks like when they have the Soul Dynasty playing into them. That was their strength on control, so can they replicate that and get a stop before about halfway through the last point on Eichenwald?
Big chance for Soul Dynasty to tie this series up. We'll see if they can do it when we come back.
Support your team with the official Overwatch League Coca-Cola bottles at CokeStore.com. Ships to all 50 U.S. states, Washington, D.C., and U.S. P.O. boxes.
Welcome back, guys. Seoul Dynasty getting the stop on point C over the Hangzhou Spark. And a lot of that due to this gentleman right here, Marvel, the Sigma player extraordinaire, and a player that's really stepped up when Seoul Dynasty has needed him to this season, and they need him now more than ever.
And I mean, the Sigma damage is pretty insane for both of our Sigma players, and oftentimes in this meta,
Every Sigma player everywhere in Overwatch,
yeah,
got
it's
insane damage.
got the insane damage. So oftentimes we'll see the Sigma player leading that damage category. Throughout these playoffs, he was dealing over 14,000 damage for 10 minutes, which is very impressive. Very impressive.
Tank with gold medals, LOL DPS. What's wrong?
Sigma can pump out that damage if you have the right aim. And a lot of teams, of course, playing around the Sigma right now. So Marvel delivering, had some particularly good, I mean, the most impressive thing was his Gravitic Flux, his ults.
Yeah, Kinetic Grasp, quite good as well to absorb a lot of the Death Blossom from Godspeed.
So now we're going to see the Seoul Dynasty attack. 4 minutes on the clock here to take point A.
So how's Seoul going to approach this? Attacking has seemed to be their Achilles heel here. Their kryptonite, if you will. Approaching kind of slowly. This is what we're talking about with Seoul Dynasty. They definitely played a little bit more passively.
I mean, you have to wait for these barriers to come back. Making sure you have that opportunity. So they're going to put the Orisa barrier right on the point right now. Both Orisa barriers going out at the same time.
Both barriers going down really fast, so Sigma puts his out again. Now Gushue. Like a little bit of damage. Here comes a Coalescence way faster for Jaehong. But can they convert it into a win? Bezzy down already. That's a great start for Seoul Dynasty. Now Rhea getting extremely close to his Gravitic Flux. Way ahead of Marvel as well. And he's going to use it. Seoul may not be expecting this. Fitz in a lot of trouble. He's going to go down. But meanwhile, the rest of the Spark falling around him. But Rhea, he's turning it. Can he get another one? Looking for that triple kill. Michelle dodging around the shields. He's agile because he's got 4 legs. He's got the Fortify as well. And he's got the shield from Marvel. Meanwhile, the point being taken in the back.
Somehow Rhea survives, though. That's the crazy part, Joa. And now the Spark teammates are coming back in.
He lasted long enough, but Godspeed down again. And here comes a Meteor Strike from both. Looks like Fitz is going to have to look up. When he comes down, he's going to go right down on the roof because of that. Rocket Punch. Oh, he misses. And Michelle, a lot of trouble. The uppercut, though. Ooh, saved him for a second, but not long enough. And now Toby with a nice right-click kill onto Gushue. Hangzhou Spark still in trouble here on point A, and the payload gets moving.
Yeah, Rhea stayed alive that entire time until the very end, though. He got a lot of time off that clock, but still Seoul Dynasty there with the capture. So regroup now. Time for the Hangzhou Spark. See if they can get a team fight win here on this defense. As you said, though, the important thing at the start of that fight, though, was that Jaehong got that Coalescence so fast.
Yeah, that was incredibly quick.
And that's the downside of burning down the enemy's barriers too quickly, because Hangzhou was dumping damage. They got the Orisa barrier down. But if you just poke them and don't kill them, all of a sudden...
Oh, welcome to the fight, Godspeed. Time to run away and run right into the Gravitic Flux. Michelle doesn't even let him hit the ground. And now Marvel looking for a little bit more damage here. Fleta does fall to Bezzy, though, so Spark keeping it equal in the kills here, keeping it more than equal as Fitz goes down now. And without the damage players, Seoul does have to back away.
There's a situation where with both Reapers down, it really comes down to whoever's going to burst the next person. That time, it was Rhea picking up the elimination. Meant that any kind of forward movement from the Seoul Dynasty, there was too much of a threat of the rocket punch coming in from Bezzy. Not much you can do besides back off the payload at that point in time.
Right.
Taking a look right now, Meteor Strike and Death Blossom up for the Seoul Dynasty, coming up soon for the Spark. Toby with the IDK with the sound barrier is very important. So Flood is trying to get behind enemy lines. He knows they don't have a support ult. If you can get a good Death Blossom.
He's climbing up on top of the cage. What is he doing? He's insane. Coming down right on the payload. There's the Death Blossom. Gets one. Meteor Strike lands on him, and he's sent to another map. 1 for 1 so far, but the sound barriers coming in for both teams. Gotta wait for those to burn away now. Jaehong trying to burn the Spark with his Coalescence. Godspeed going in with the Death Blossom, but not so successful. Kind of looking like stage 4 Godspeed for a second there, and Seoul Dynasty are going to get this payload moving again.
That fight, though, you'll take that trade. When you trade the enemy's Moira for your own Reaper, at that point in time, in the standard composition, you're only running Lucio, so your options for healing are somewhat limited, right? So when you make that trade and you still have your damage dealers available to you, or at least your Doomfist, you can come in and just slowly grind away at the enemy. They have the Coalescence as well, so you just sort of walk up on them with the extra sustain and win that fight.
Right. Marvel so close to his ultimate. Oh, he had to use it to live. He was almost knocked off. That was insane. Can he get any kills out of it, though? Toby gets a knockoff onto Rhea, actually, when he's at 93% to his ultimate. Hongjo Spark with a big loss there. Maybe Gosby from on high can turn it around. Gushue does get the knockoff onto Michelle. The environmental coming in from the halt. Jaehong just trying to torch people with that Coalescence now. Flood is down. Spark still on the payload for the moment, but Soul closing in around them here. Toby down. Gosby with a big kill there, and that's not a lot of healing, and Seoul Dynasty has to back away.
Too many players coming back from spawn for the Hangzhou Spark. Bebe still going to be in a very sad Moira duel here with Jaehong and then wait.
Yeah, you're right. Just give up. That's pointless. Yeah, there's some supportal combat that you just don't take.
Well, big investment from the Seoul Dynasty, especially at the end of that, using Vitz's Meteor Strike in a not great situation when they already were down several players. Hangzhou will now enter this next fight with about 5 ultimates online, including both support ults. It's going to be hard for Seoul to break this.
All right. Positioning. Ooh, yeah, fortified just in time to avoid getting knocked off. Michelle with the plays there. Fitz gets the kill into Godsby.
That can't happen.
Strike loaded up. Bezzy in the back lines onto Fleta. Ooh, the Reaper's out. Seoul Dynasty a little bit of trouble here, but the Sound Barrier comes in for Spark. They were low health, but it didn't matter. Lucio all saving everybody. And there's the cleanup. And now Seoul Dynasty in big trouble.
I mean, are they? The thing is, Seoul...
I think they might be.
They burned... They got the Spark to use both of their support ults. They used four ults, the Spark, in that last engagement.
Yeah,
so
but
now
this is
Seoul...
the last fight, though. Gotta win this one.
I think they will. Both support ults being up is absolutely huge in this meta. And because Godsby died early, Hangzhou had to overcommit. So now Seoul got a really good chance of winning this next fight.
2 predictions. Analyst versus play-by-play. Who will triumph? We'll find out. 2 caster curses going in 2 separate directions. There's Jaehong. He's got the Coalescence. A lot of damage onto Rhea. Trying to get those shields. He is down. Michelle, the equalizing. Seoul Dynasty, though, going in with the Sound Barrier. And that was a nice right click onto Gushue from Toby again. And it looks like the analyst was correct. Shocking nobody. Seoul Dynasty looks like they will get point B in another little bit of time in the time bank.
Seoul squeaking out these little advantages that force an imbalance of the ult economy in their favor. Looking really good. Now, though, we're swinging back the other way. Hangzhou Spark will have their Coalescence, and they didn't get a lot of time on the clock. Only a minute and 15 remaining. So Seoul, this is where they might be in real trouble.
We'll see. Here we go. Gravitic Flux gets used. Can they get any kills off it, though? Bezzy in trouble. He's going to go down. Toby with the finishing blow there. Marvel loads up the rock, but it goes into the shield. Goes forward with a bit of shields for himself. Fled it down. That was an attempt at a Death Blossom there that didn't work out too well. Gushue a little bit low. There's a halt right into Fitz's Meteor Strike, but they don't get the kills from it. So Seoul so close to finishing this one, but they just can't seem to finish any kills here. And now Fitz goes down. Jaehong has the Coalescence. Will he commit it? They've got 1 more attack left. They're going to try to fall back. Marvel in big trouble here. Can he actually escape? He gets the healing just in time.
Not losing Marvel is pretty important right there.
It is.
So no stagger onto this next fight. Gives Seoul just a little bit more time to work with. Gushue low. He's going to get a little bit of healing from the Moira. Bebe on the way back. Another Coalescence up for the Spark.
Yeah, there are the ults. All right, Gravitic Flux.
Not doing anything.
And nobody. That was only the Arisa and the Fortify kept her from flying around. And now it's going to be Jaehong with the Coalescence. Oh, I think that one did not work out, actually. Toby really close to the Sound Barrier, though. They're going to need that.
Okay, here we go. Marvel's going to have to hit a big ult here.
He gets 2 people in it, but can he get the kill? The Sound Barrier preventing that. Rock comes through. Oh, that got denied by the shield, too. Clutch shield coming in from Rhea at the end. Now Marvel just fishing for a little bit more damage here. The Sound Barrier's down on both teams, worn out by now. But there goes Bezzy, big kill from Marvel. Found the pick he was looking for. Fleta wraithing out of the back lines where he found a little bit of damage. Ooh, that's a lot of damage on a Bebe as well. Nearly goes down. Marvel getting aggressive, going for it. Godsby denied his ultimate, not doing enough. And Seoul Dynasty, they may have done it here.
I think they have, Doa. Bezzy's the only one up right now. He's going to try and get a touch, but it's just not going to happen.
Not going to get there, and Seoul Dynasty ties up the series.
Oh, man. They were